How's it going? So today on Big Ass Sport, I want to discuss the Nelson Asofa-Solomona incident. This is a pretty huge incident right now in the rugby league scene. I think there's a lot of things that are being said about it which are actually quite negative and influence it in a negative way, but that is all because of the media. Now I want to discuss this in a way where we go through what's been said, what's actually happened, and kind of give my thoughts on the process and give my thoughts on what's actually happened, because I feel like this is being judged very unfairly. And I feel like this is definitely a trend that's starting to become more common. It's starting to become more frequent, and it's going to affect the game, it's going to affect the players, and it's going to affect society, really, if this is how we're going to deal with situations like this. Now, if you haven't heard the news, basically, Nelson Asofa-Solomona, player for the Melbourne Storm in the rugby league, is in a little bit of trouble. He's in a little bit of trouble, well, quite a lot of trouble, from the end of season trip to Bali that, you know, a lot of rugby league players do, a lot of sporting players do. Once the season is done, they go away. You know, they've done hard work all year, they've grinded, and they're just going away to have some fun with the boys. Just, you know, live a regular life. Like, yes, they're rugby league stars, and yes, they're social media celebrities, and, you know, they're in the public limelight, but they are still regular human beings as well. So they are going away on holiday to really respect the fact that they've had a great year, they've grinded all year, they've done hard work all year, and now it's time to relax, kick back before they have to get back into the grind again next year. But obviously, when you're in the public limelight, this isn't possible. Now, over in Bali, Nelson Asofa-Solomona was with a couple. I'm going to call him Nas for the rest of this. I'm going to call him Nelson or Nas for the rest of this because it's just very, well, yeah, it's a long name, all right? It's a Nelson Asofa-Solomona. It's very hard to, you know, consistently keep saying the name in full. So yes, a few of the Storm boys obviously went over to Bali and relaxed after the season, including Nelson, Suliasi Vunivalu, Tui Kamikamitha, Oshado Carr, and they all went over there, and one night out turned into a night that the NRL are now investigating. Surprise, surprise, eh? Surprise, surprise. A few rugby league players back in the limelight for a drunken brawl. Now that's the first thing you think about, isn't it? That's the first thing you think about, because that is what the people are led to believe. That's what society is led to believe by the media. Whenever, you know, a rugby league player or a sports star goes out, oh, of course there's going to be trouble, and of course it's going to be their fault. It can't ever be somebody else's fault. It can't ever be, you know, that player defending themselves or defending the fact that, you know, they're in the public limelight and people don't like that, or they're jealous. You know, it can't ever be the fact that, you know, it's not their fault. Yeah, it has to be. It has to be their fault. Well, that's just bullshit, and that's what people are led to believe. That's what you're led to believe. That's what society's led to believe, because the media's first point of impact is negativity. Okay, so put it this way: there are two articles that go up. Which one are you more likely to click on and read? So one says Melbourne Storm players attacked whilst partying in Bali. Okay, you might click on it. You probably will click on it because it's, you know, it's the Melbourne Storm. It's a team you recognise, and, you know, it's players that you recognise, and they're in a brawl or they're being targeted. You're still probably going to click that. However, I guarantee you'll be more interested if it says Storm players initiate drunken brawl outside club. That's the one you're going to want to look at, because you're like, oh no, not again, the NRL's in trouble. It's only been a week or 2 weeks since the NRL Grand Final. Starting this off-season early with some drunken bullshit from rugby league players. Oh, well, that's just typical, isn't it? Now, I don't really need to show you guys the actual footage of this. If you guys want to go and see the footage, you can go everywhere and see it, because it's pretty obvious. But, you know, from the footage and the footage alone, obviously, yes, you're going to get the picture that Nelson is the one initiating it and going crazy. And I'll tell you what, this is a little bit off topic, but my God, I'm not getting in a fight with Nelson. Gee, bloody damn well weird. Some of those bloody punches, he was like a bloody barnstorm, son. And Dyer, why are you picking a fight with him, son? Why are you picking a fight with anyone out of his friends? But that's not the point. Let's not talk about that. The footage obviously shows that he's throwing haymakers, he's going crazy, you know, it's scary, it looks like he's just absolutely going ham on this one bloke, and that can obviously lead one to believe the media when they say, oh look, he's gone and initiated a brawl, or from straight footage, he's gone and initiated a brawl, which is obviously bringing the game into disrepute. But if you think about it, I don't truly believe a player's going to go out of his way for no apparent reason to go and just punch up some dude, alright? Because he knows he's in the public limelight, he knows that his career could be in jeopardy, and I just don't truly believe that players go out with the intention to create havoc. So that means that something must have happened, right? So that means that they must have been provoked in some way. Now, all the reports that are being said from the players, from people who were over there, Braithen Nasta, who was there at the same time, there's been a lot of reports that Suliasi Vunivalu, who I also did notice in the clip that a lot of people didn't notice in the clip, he's with his shirt off in the foreground somewhere, and he looks like he'd just been hit. Now, Suliasi Vunivalu, he has come out with a photo in which he's got a massive gash on his eye. So underneath his eye, he's come out with a massive gash. It basically proves that he's been hit, and the story that's being said from the players and everywhere else besides the media is more than likely the truth here. And I tend to believe it. I tend to agree with it because I feel like the media is really trying to sell papers by pushing the thought process that another rugby league player is in trouble by initiating or provoking a situation. Player's side of the story says that basically Suliasi Vunivalu may have spilt a drink over the side of a bar there in Seminyak, and then the people downstairs, Australians downstairs or whatever, who were probably more than likely intoxicated, came upstairs, the brawl ensued, they got kicked out of the club, and then apparently some guy was coming at Suliasi with a beer glass or beer bottle or whatever to smash it over him, and then obviously Nelson lost his shit. And fair enough, you would lose your shit because you're defending your friend. Those people are always going to defend their friend in a situation like that. Of course they're not going to let someone just come up and smash you over the head with a beer bottle. It doesn't make sense. Now obviously if I'm wrong in this, and if it does turn out that they were the ones who invoked it, which I highly doubt, that's just me trying to believe in a bit of positivity and believe in the side of the story from people who were there who aren't actually directly involved with these guys. Now on another note, I'm obviously a small-time content creator, yeah? I go to games all the time, I film game day experience vlogs, okay? I have trouble with people in public as well. And I'm a small-time content creator, you know? There are people who are jealous of what I do and the fact that I'm able to travel and do all this stuff and have fun and live my passion in the process. And there are people who just don't like you. And that's just what comes with being in the public limelight. Now, I'm a small-time content creator, really small. These guys are massive in Australia. They're massive in Australia. The people are obviously either they're not going to like the team they play for, they're not going to like the way they play on the field, they could be classed as a grub, or they're just not going to like that person in general. I don't feel like accidentally spilling a drink over the side and more than likely being apologised for would instigate an argument and a punch on. Like obviously if you could apologise for it and say, look, I'm sorry man, I accidentally dropped or spilt some drink over the side of the bar, you know, I don't truly believe that someone's going to come up and want to try and punch on with you. But if you're a social media celebrity or a big-time star rugby league player, I feel like this is the way that they would feel they could get into the social media limelight. I just don't see it. I just don't see it happening because of a spilled drink. Suliasi obviously would apologise. The boys probably all obviously would have apologised because there's no point in saying, oh, piss off, mate, and it's just a drink. Like, surely that's not the way. They would have come up there aggressively, noticed who it was, or noticed who it was beforehand, and then deliberately went up there just to cause shit. You know, that's just what happens. I'm small time, and yet I cop shit at games. I cop shit all the time. You've just got to be used to being hated and not some people not liking you just because. There's no real reason behind it. It's just because some people just don't like you. And that's why I feel this situation is very dangerous, to just take what the media says and not believe anything that's being said by the players on their behalf. You know, because this situation is like, we're going to straight up assume that the people who attacked are actually in the right. We're going to actually straight up assume that the players are in the wrong. And that doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. Why are we assuming straight away that they're the ones in the wrong? I obviously, like I said, 2 articles, you're more likely to click on the negative one than the positive one. But this is actually jeopardizing people's lives and their careers. But until all news comes out, until everything's been well established, and you know, the inquiries, why are we specifically straight up blaming the players? It's not innocent until proven guilty anymore. It's guilty until proven innocent. That is literally the way the world has changed. It is guilty until proven innocent. And that's just simply wrong. You know, there are things that happen all around the world in regards to this where we straight up go for the guilty part. We don't believe they're innocent until they're proven innocent. And that's what's happened with this situation. When Nelson Asofa-Solomona has to cop the shit as if he's just another rugby league player getting into a situation. I don't know the true facts, but I'm leading to believe that after everything I know regarding the media and about how they promote negativity over positivity, and after what I receive as a small-time content creator in public limelight, everything that I'm seeing, it just draws the fact that these guys instigated it because these guys are in the public limelight. And it's just wrong. It's completely and utterly wrong to believe someone is guilty until proven innocent. They should be innocent until proven guilty. I hope you guys have taken some knowledge out of this, and I hope you guys can really see the situation for its true self. Obviously, wait until all the news from everywhere comes out, and then make your decision. But that's gonna do us for today, guys. You know, I hope, like I said, you did get some knowledge out of this. If you did like it, please give me a thumbs up. Would really appreciate if you could share this video around, because this is the kind of stuff that you need to share around, that other people need to see, because you need to show that this kind of guilty until proven innocent thing is not right. And people need to kind of understand this, promote this kind of thinking and wait until everything has been shown, until you slam players and slam people for something that they potentially didn't do. They could simply have been defending a friend in a situation that was very dangerous with some guy coming with a beer glass, beer bottle. Obviously, if you do love your sport, then this is a channel for you. Go down, hit the subscribe button, the little ding-a-ling-a-ling notification bell, and this is another video that we're not really like, woo-woo, energetic, but you're gonna get a lot of these. I feel like I really like these controversy videos because we're able to delve in depth into these situations in which, you know, a lot of people just take one side and just run with it, or they take this side and they just run with it. You know, there's never really someone who just kind of comes out and gives both thought processes. I tell you how I'm feeling. I don't care kind of how I'm taken, because if you don't like it, then that's your choice, man. That's not my choice. If you don't like how I say or what I think, that's your choice. But I take what they say, I take what they say, and I put it into the middle because I think that's the most fair. You have to take both sides unbiasedly and look more into it, rather than just taking a negative spin by one side of the party. That's gonna do us for today, guys. Thanks for watching. Catch you later. See ya.